Let's free up some space. And then I'm gonna be ready for some bullshit. Alright. Oh shit. Okay, so how do I get the alliance? Talk to the alliance.
Don't be shy. Deal.
Let's do a arena on this set. I look forward to What is this? This is my Caroline Bridge watch. Bank of Fort Sterling. I got some shit in Fort Sterling. Caroline. No. Limhurst. Martlock. Thetford. Brazilian. 500. Swamp Cross. Really? This isn't my Brazilian. Okay. Wow. Okay, how to see my guild? Yeah. 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 4 weeks ago. 122 members. Alright, let's go into their thing. Okay, damn. Order. Okay. Okay. Yo, they don't have no Discord. Once I see them, I'll let them know. If I see them on market. Oh, there we go. Ah, man. Piss. Yo. 35, 39. Okay, what the fuck? Okay, and how to. What is this like? This one. How to notify? Okay. I'll create it. This one, right? I don't know what to upload, man. This shit. I don't know. Let's upload this. Okay. So, like now, I'll be on Twitch and go on my channel and shit right here. Okay, play that. Like, give me the link. Yo, give me the link, yo. God damn. Okay. Via link, boy. Get a fucking link. What? Okay. And there was this channel. I like this, right? Did I? Alright, man, I don't know much about Discord. And, I'm doing fine. I didn't saw the message. Alright, man, I don't know, man. It's just 9:47. I think I'm gonna be having my breakfast. Let's watch some news.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow. This is some crowd. How are you? Thank you. Leo. This is some crowd. These are the best people, Tiger. And we have Adam Scott here also, winner of the Masters, one of the greatest golfers in the world. I've always tried to swing just like Adam. It never worked out that way. And Tiger, we know, and I just want to thank Adam and Tiger and the commissioner of golf.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll pin the message. How to pin the message in here. Like, I want to pin a message. Yo. I will be doing breakfast for some time. Breakfast and stuff for some time. Then I'll start playing the game. Alright, now
now how to pin this. Show how to pin this, man. Like pin this. How to pin this. Alright. Till then, I'm gonna be watching news. And
Jay, thank you very much for being here. Jay Monahan, head of the PGA, and we had some interesting discussions. But let me ask you, is there anybody like our Tiger? How are you? He's the great. Would you want to just say a couple of words, Tiger? He doesn't. He's much more comfortable. Tiger.
Hey, it's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be here with you, Mr. President, and to be on the road here with all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love you too.
All right, over here. Thanks, Tiger.
Shit.
And I want to thank all of you very much for being here. Welcome to the White House, and we proudly celebrate Black History Month. How are you, darling? Today we pay tribute to the generations of Black legends.
Was it you that last time asked me of my surname? Was it you? I think it was you.
Champions, warriors, and patriots who helped drive our country forward to greatness. And you really are great people.
Tell me if it was you. Then let me know. I'm gonna tell you my surname.
Oh, what a great, nice group of... I have some people in front of me every once in a while with all the problems that are caused all over the world. They're not nice. They're not nice. And but we're making them nice. I can tell you that, and we're making them nice rapidly. So we're pleased to be joined in this really beautiful afternoon at the White House by hundreds of incredible members of the African American community, many of whom are making history themselves, including one of the greatest athletes of all time, who you just said hello, the man who matched Sam Snead's #1 record for the most PGA Tour wins ever, and a man who has 15 majors, and he's got a long way to go, too. I was with him a week ago. We played. I think he's got some left, doesn't he, huh? He's got a couple of majors left, maybe more than that. But Tiger Woods, he's an incredible guy, an incredible athlete, incredible player. Thank you for being with us, Tiger. Thank you very much. And he got the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which he proudly wore today. And it's we have Senator Tim Scott here. What do you think, Tim? You never got the Presidential Medal. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. You better believe it. And also, Adam, thank you very much. Adam is, as Tiger will tell you, one of the greatest players and one of the great modern players. And he had 32 wins worldwide and winning the Masters also. And he's something very special and a great representative of golfers and athletes. Thank you very much, Adam. Even though he doesn't quite come from our country, he sort of does, right? He's here a lot. He comes from another nice place like Australia, right? And they've been very good, very, very good to us. Jay, thank you very much. Appreciate it very much. We also have the head of Pfizer here, so I want to thank him. One of the great people, one of the great businessmen. Thank you, Albert. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to congratulate our newly sworn-in Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Scott Turner. Come in. I gotta say hello. Come on up here, Scott. I had Tim Scott pushing him so hard, you have no idea. I had no choice. Is that right, Tim? No, Scott is, I've known him a long time, and Scott's a real champion. Say a couple of words, Scott, please.
Well, hello, everyone. Is everybody happy to be here together? Is everybody happy to be here together? Amen. Well, first of all, I want to thank President Trump for his confidence and appointing me to this position. I consider it a great honor and a great blessing. And I thank God for this, and I'm real humbled by it. And you can guarantee that every day that I'm going to lay it down for the people of America. As Senator Tim Scott, thank you for your leadership. I really appreciate you. And for all of those who have gone before us, and those of you who have such a great voice today, keep on speaking, keep on preaching for not just Black America, but for all America. So we appreciate you. And my sister, Brooke Rollins, and all of those here, Mr. President, we look forward to working with you, sir, and carrying out this great agenda. We pray for you every day. God bless you, and thank you. God bless America. Thank you for President Trump.
Thanks. Congratulations. And I see we have a newly, I think you just got in, right? They just confirmed you, and you did it very nicely. Brooke Rollins, she's the Secretary of Agriculture. It's a big deal. That's great, Brooke. That was a good vote you had, too, huh? She went through very easily, a little easier than some of our people, but they were all approved, every one of them. And today we just had Kash Patel approved, which is great. So, Brooke, congratulations. Secretary of Agriculture, that's big stuff, right? That's big. So you're going to do fantastically. And congratulations also to a really good friend of mine. He endorsed me early, and he was one of the best surrogates you could have. The surrogate is when you walk around and go on television shows and they go try and beat you up, but he beat them up. They didn't have a chance against Tim Scott, Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina. And he's now the longest serving Black United States Senator in the history of our country. I don't know. That's pretty good. He's going to be around for a long time, right? Just got married. Congratulations.
Oh, it's sunny. It was fucking gloomy the last day. But today it's sunny. It was gloomy and cloudy. Oh, man, look at this, man. Facebook keeps on sending me girls to send friend request. They keeps on suggesting me girl. Man, this is not just it, man. There has been for fucking 4 to 8 months. Facebook has been sending me different kind of girls to send friend request. That's some bullshit, man. Let's see this. I'll be smoking.
President Trump not mincing words with Ukrainian President Zelensky as the U.S. tries leading negotiations with Russia to end the war.
The only thing he was really good at was playing Joe Biden like a fiddle. He played him like a fiddle. That's an expression we use. A dictator without elections. Zelensky better move fast or he's not going to have a country left. Got to move fast because that war is going in the wrong direction. In the meantime, we're successfully negotiating an end to the war with Russia.
So, President Zelensky firing back, calling Trump's comments Russian disinformation, prompting Vice President Vance to respond. The idea that Zelensky is going to change the president's mind by bad-mouthing him in public media, everyone who knows the president will tell you that is an atrocious way to deal with this administration. Here to react, Trump National Security Advisor Michael Waltz. Michael, fresh off your peace mission with Russia over in Riyadh, want to get to that in a moment, but your sense of the fractured relationships now between President Zelensky and President Trump.
Well, Brian, there's obviously a lot of frustration here. Vice President Vance was very frustrated leaving the Munich Security Conference. Our Secretary of Treasury, who traveled all the way to Kyiv, is also frustrated, all on top of the president, obviously, who makes his frustration well known. And that's because we presented the Ukrainians really an incredible and historic opportunity to have the United States of America co-invest with Ukraine, invest in its economy, invest in its natural resources, and really become a partner in Ukraine's future in a way that's sustainable, but also would be, I think, the best security guarantee they could ever hope for, much more than another pallet of ammunition. And so to have the United States co-invested to grow their pie, to allow their economy to flourish over time, and, oh, by the way, to have the American taxpayer recoup the hundreds of billions of dollars, as the Europeans do, all makes sense. Why we're getting this pushback, and certainly this kind of, as the vice president said, bad-mouthing in the press for all the administration has done in his first term as well, and all the United States has done for Ukraine is just, it's unacceptable. They need to tone it down and take a hard look and sign that deal.
So, do you believe that this is reconcilable? Do you believe?
First I'm gonna smoke, and then I'm gonna get my breakfast, and then I'm gonna do this and that and what and whatnot, and then I'm gonna play the game. Alright?
This is two people just getting mad at
Just
each
woke
other,
up,
or do you
man.
think these are two countries going different ways?
Oh, I think so. The president also said how much he loves the Ukrainian people. And again, he was the first to arm them back in his first term. We've done a lot for the security of Ukraine. And to say that we're going to change the nature of our aid going forward is, I don't think, should offend anyone. Look, the president is ready to drive this war to an end. He has made that clear over and over again. And just a week ago, Brian, he had both President Putin on the phone and Zelensky on the phone, literally within minutes of each other. And both were saying, only you, President Trump, can lead this war to a conclusion when no one else has been able to. And in fact, the last administration didn't even really try. So now President Trump is doing what he should as a leader and pushing hard diplomacy with strength and leadership. And, you know, no one should be surprised about that.
Right. In terms of President Zelensky, his approval rating's around 54%, and he can't really have elections while he's at war. That's in their constitution. And it seems as though they both sides understood that until yesterday. What do you see your role going forward as early as today? Maybe to get the two on the phone?
Well, look, this notion that the Ukrainians haven't been consulted, I have to push back on that, Brian. I've been talking to his national security advisor, Zelensky's national security advisor, on a regular basis. We just mentioned the meetings both Secretary of State and Vice President Vance have had with him. Special Envoy Keith Kellogg is out there literally right now. So we have had plenty of engagement and dialogue in order to drive this deal home, this economic partnership, and move forward towards peace. And also for our European friends, look, we have President Macron of France coming next week. We have Prime Minister Starmer of the United Kingdom coming next week. I spoke with all of their national security advisors, including Germany's, yesterday. So we are consulting our allies. We're consulting the Ukrainians. There's a term for this in diplomacy. It's called shuttle diplomacy, because bringing everybody to the table at once just hasn't worked in the past. So we've engaged one side, we've engaged the other side, and then we're going to have a process moving forward under President Trump's direction and leadership.
And as you know, a lot of Democrats kind of hit the roof with all this back and forth. Listen.
It has been remarkable to watch Donald Trump line up with Putin so directly that it's almost as if Putin writes his talking points.
This feels like one of the, the biggest kind of American surrender since Vietnam.
The mental gymnastics that you see Republicans undertaking to somehow justify the unjustifiable.
Republicans, at this point, have power to change what Trump is doing if they can find their spines, and it may be the whole country's job to help them find it.
And your retort to that?
You know, I guess all of those Democrats were perfectly fine with seeing hundreds of thousands of people literally on a daily, weekly, monthly basis in a meat grinder of a war that has turned into an endless war under Joe Biden, who could not define success and basically said, as long as it takes, as much as it takes, no matter how many people die, no matter how much death and destruction, because I haven't heard any one of them actually present a plan to bring this war to an end. President Trump has done that, and we're going to execute it.
Right. To me, this reminds me of Lion Ted and De Sanctimonious. When the president locks horns and gets angry, that's what he does. But he also could put his hand out and say, let's move forward. That's where this reminds me of.
And, Brian, and the same ones that are screaming for peace and are screaming for a ceasefire over in Gaza, I guess are screaming for endless war in Europe. It's nonsensical. This is a common sense plan. They may not like it, but we're going to drive it forward, and everybody will stop squawking when the fighting ends.
When the Russians say, we met with we met with you and Marco Rubio, and we got the sense that the U.S. is with us, are they wrong?
Well, I think our interests are aligned in stopping the war. They have different reasons, of course, in the Ukrainians. There's still all kinds of disagreement that we need to pull both sides together. But, Brian, that was a historic first step, and it started with that historic phone call that President Trump had with Putin and the confidence-building measure that we had with the release of Mark Fogel. Remember, that was just a week ago, Brian. I don't think time is on anyone's side, and we're going to move forward full speed ahead to drive this war to an end. And then we can talk about broader geostrategic relationships, and that's the conversation we had with the Russians, but it's a first of many to come.
Would it be great if the Russians handed back the 20,000 children they stole from the Ukrainian families, renamed them, and handed them out to Russians? Would they ever agree to give the children back?
You know, we talked about what we're going to have to do in territory, what we're going to have to do in security guarantees, what we're going to have to do kind of in the future broader security arrangement, the future of our relationship, and those kinds of exchanges, prisoner exchanges, children, what's happened in some of these areas. It's been a devastating war. All of that, should be resolved, and we are trying to resolve. But for everyone to just throw their hands up and say, well, we don't like what they're doing, but we don't have a plan either, is just unacceptable. But it shouldn't surprise anybody in Washington, D.C.
And we agree. I think everyone now agrees. The war has got to come to an end, and President Trump is in the perfect place to do it. Hopefully these former friends will be future friends again, Zelensky and Trump, of course. Michael Waltz, great job. Thanks so much for getting up with us this morning.
Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much for talking to Newsnight. Last night, President Trump dismissed the idea that President Zelensky was being sidelined in the talks about its future, and he said, quote, well, you've been there for 3 years, you should have ended it. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal. Obviously, it was Russia who started it. When you hear the President of the United States making claims like that, what do you think?
I find that the British establishment is now in a state of shock and nervousness of what has happened. But what has happened, in fact, in reality, this is a more understanding from the American side of what we are doing, why we are doing, and what should be the outcome of it. As for the particular statement on the President Zelensky, there is first an obstacle for the negotiations because he has issued an executive order to prohibit himself for the negotiations. And until he is going to remove that, all negotiations on that side seems to be illegal.
So when you say you think the US administration has more of an understanding of your position, do you think they genuinely believe that Ukraine started the war?
Well, that's a fact of life. The war has not started 3 years ago. The war has started after the coup d'etat by so-called Maidan in Kiev, which has brought nationalists to power. And this, the first decree by this nationalist was prohibition of the Russian language, with which the part of Ukrainian population disagree.
I mean, it's not a fact of life. The fact is it was Russia's military aggression in 2014.
In 2014.
With Moscow's forced annexation of Crimea.
Well, in fact, I hope that in BBC they better learn history. That was a decree on the prohibition of the Russian language. The part of Ukrainian population in the east disagree with that, and Ukrainian government has sent troops to this eastern part, which that was at the start of the conflict.
Can I ask you about something that Marco Rubio said after that meeting yesterday? The US Secretary of State said, in order to bring an end to any conflict, there has to be concessions made by all sides. Will Russia compromise?
It is difficult to say. What has happened yesterday, it has had three outcomes. First and foremost, it was re-establishment of contacts and diplomacy with the United States, which is a precondition for everything else. Second is that they have launched a process, I will say, on Ukrainian settlement. Which can, it is very initial phase, what to do with that. And third, that both sides has agreed that we need full-scale relationship between the United States and Russia. All three outcomes are incredibly important for all of that. As for the process, as it is in a very initial phase right now. So it is premature to speak about concessions or kind of agreements or what kind of framework it will come.
I understand. But going on what Marco Rubio said, there has to be concessions made by all sides. I'm not asking you what concessions, I'm just asking for an insight, an indication. Is Russia prepared to compromise?
It is just funny to speak about concessions in the negotiations which did not start yet.
What about giving back Ukraine some of its territory?
Why should we? We have liberated these territories on which Russian people are living for centuries, actually. We suggested to Ukrainians several compromises in the course of the last 10 years.
When you say, why should we give back some of Ukraine's territory, the answer from Ukrainians might be because it's Ukrainian territory. That's why Russia should give it back.
I don't think so. We have suggested many times that they should just care of the human rights over there, of normal human rights like it exists in Europe. That Russians should be full-scale Russians and Russian-speaking population should be a full-scale, a normal part of Ukrainian society without prohibiting Russian language and all of that stuff.
I've interviewed some Ukrainians in the east of the country in the last 3 years. They grew up speaking Russian, they regarded Russians as their brothers, and they have had to flee because of Russian attacks on them.
When there are battles, when there are clashes over there, it is clear that the population is going to flee. And I will say that we even helped many Eastern Ukrainians to move into Russia. They did. We have right now about 6 million of something of refugees. And right now they are going back in Mariupol. If I'm not mistaken, there are hundreds of thousands of those who has come back because Mariupol has been is under restoration right now.
How does Moscow view the prospect of tens of thousands of European and non-European troops along the front line?
Our attitude will be negative to it. I don't think that it is. It will not be part of the deal, because if Europeans are going to install certain contingents of the Ukrainian soil, it means that they're going to construct bases and infrastructure, which is nothing, which does not deviate from NATO being on the territory of Ukraine.
But President Trump said last night he was fine with troops from other countries being positioned in Ukraine.
I don't believe that they did not discuss. They did discuss it in the course of the session of Riyadh, because for instance, London's concept of boots on the land changes every day.
I'm just giving you the quote from President Trump. The word he used was, he's fine. He's fine with troops from other countries.
He might be fine, but I can assure you that we will disagree and we will not accept presence of military contingents from other countries of Europe who are members of NATO on the soil of Ukraine.
without that, of course, Russia could come back to Ukraine.
No. What we are looking for, it is not a temporary ceasefire, it is not a truce, it is overall settlement. Overall settlement that should include Ukraine, countries in Europe, United States, and all the others. And otherwise, of course, we are not going to accept British troops on the Ukrainian soil.
But if Ukrainians want British troops on Ukrainian soil, it's up to them, isn't it?
It will be a sort of a treaty or a deal or a negotiated settlement. And every element of this, every presence during which stems from a treaty or an accord, it should be agreed by both sides.
Could one of Russia's demands be that President Zelensky stands down as a condition of peace and elections are held in Ukraine?
None of our leaders has said that so far, but we believe that since his legitimacy has come to an end May last year, he should have elections. Since we do not see how we can negotiate with him something, because if he will put his signature under any kind of agreement, and tomorrow he will not be elected as the president, so this piece of paper will have not much of value. But we can go into negotiations with him if there is no other way.
But he is the president. He was democratically elected. You know there's martial law in Ukraine because Russia launched its full-scale invasion. That's why elections are on hold.
I think it is a big demand also from the Americans that Ukrainian population should express its will, who should be the leader of Ukraine. And I'm not sure it will be Zelensky.
Does Russia accept that however this war ends, whatever is agreed about territory, Ukraine will remain a sovereign and independent state?
I think the answer is positive to your question. We understand that Ukraine, and we never denied that Ukraine should exist. Of course, we have very many contradictions right now with Ukraine, but it is, well, we will see what will be the outcome. But we value and we respect very much Ukrainian people and population. The problem is the government.
If you value and respect Ukrainian people, why have you killed so many of them?
Because of regime which is now in power right now. It has ideology which is absolutely anti-Russian, and it is very nationalistic, and it is between nationalism and fascism. The line is very thin.
It doesn't make sense. If you've got a problem with President Zelensky, why would you kill innocent Ukrainians?
President Zelensky has come to power and got a support from all Ukrainians as a president of peace. He said that he will make, while being elected, he has said he will make a peace with Russia very quickly. But then it appeared that he started a war, and he is now leading the war very seriously.
He didn't start a war.
Good to hear from you. I just explained how it has started, and you tried to say that.
Why is that funny?
Because it is like you listen, but you do not hear. This is what has happened before with the Americans. And in Riyadh, it is for the first time we have noticed that they are not simply saying that this is Russian propaganda and disinformation. They have listened and they hear what we say. And from you, it is all the same.
So they listen, and if somebody agrees with you, that means they've listened and heard.
They heard, yes, they heard and they understand what we are saying.
I remember you telling my colleague on Newsnight in January 2022 that the Russian troops in Belarus would not be going into Ukraine, they'd be going back to Russia. And of course, weeks later, Russia launched its full-scale invasion. Do you think people should believe you?
Victoria, I have answered this question very many times after 22 and all of that stuff. Every interviewer tried to ask me. I have said at that time what I have known at that time. That is all.
Will Russia pay for the reconstruction of Ukraine?
I'm sure that we are paying right now and quite a lot for reconstruction of parts that we have liberated.
46,000 Ukrainian soldiers, and the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights said 12,500 civilians had been killed. And again, I want to ask you, Russia bombed a theatre in Mariupol, pizza restaurant, a shopping mall in Kremenchuk, a children's hospital in Kyiv. Civilian targets.
No, these are not civilian targets. The pizza that you have mentioned has been attached to the hotel, which was full of soldiers, officers, especially from the NATO countries, and all of that stuff. It is just one example. This is sufficient. We do not target civilians. We are targeting only Ukrainian military infrastructure, including into energy.
So there were soldiers in the children's hospital, in the shopping mall?
No, of course it is. Everybody is saying that the church was near here, and this is it is usual stuff which is being invented after a certain attacks.
Okay. It's not invented. Our Middle East editor, Jeremy Bowen, is in Sumy right now, and he has seen a high-rise block of flats where families live, and he said there's a great big hole in the side of it, 3 stories high, and people were killed there. They're not soldiers.
Victoria, if you are aware and interviewed some people, the Donetsk has been shelled during 9 years. 9 years of everyday shelling, Donetsk itself. And even generation of people, a new generation of people has grown up under shells. And there are lots of buildings demolished. I would very much advise to you to go to Donetsk and to see its site and to listen to what people are saying.
President Zelensky said after yesterday's Saudi meeting that Russia is run by pathological liars. It's something the now US Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, tweeted a few weeks after you launched the full-scale invasion. This was back in March 2022 when Marco Rubio was a senator. He wrote this: "Many in the West still don't understand that Putin is an expert liar." Are President Zelensky and Marco Rubio right?
Actually, if you want to insult our leader, then we do not have much to talk with you about it. I have heard a lot of...
I'm quoting other people that I haven't
Yes, you may quote also your Minister Lamy, who is trying to, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Lamy, who is trying to insult our leaders and our country very many times in the recent weeks and months when he has come to power. I don't think that we will be interested, in fact, to talk or to think that London can play any role in this.
Any role in what, sorry?
In that settlement or the processes that are going on.
And to come back to what Marco Rubio said in 2022 and what President Zelensky said yesterday, is President Putin a liar? Can Donald Trump trust him?
We do not take any position on President Zelensky's statements. He do it every time and everywhere. He's the biggest liar in the world, and as has been claimed by the President Trump as well. Of course, he is only seeking for money and all of that. He doesn't care about Ukrainians themselves if he has introduced them into such a battle. So question is to him.
Can President Trump trust President Putin?
Marco Rubio has, during these talks and negotiations, they were very polite, I will say, very diplomatic, and of course, issues are very serious. I will tell you about the telephone conversations initially. It's a conversation between two states figures, two ministers, real diplomatic, and what has happened in Riyadh, that was not bad, it was good, and it was a mutual understanding. And as I understand also from the statements by President Putin, he never comes to the expressions like you have mentioned in your script over there. He's a very polite personality, very serious personality. He has a strategic vision, and probably here he is polite to President Trump. And I understand he respects President Trump for his courage.
And to come back finally to the question that I've asked a couple of times, can President Trump trust President Putin?
Well, they do have trust already in between them, and they stated they talked. Of course, it was a long telephone conversation. How this telephone conversation could have happened without mutual trust?
Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much for talking to Newsnight.
Thank you.
गूगल पिन क्या है, क्या हुआ?
सॉरी, वो मैं 1 किलो सोना देखने की प्रैक्टिस कर रही थी। इस साल फर्स्ट प्राइज में माई 11 सर्कल दे रहा है 1 किलो सोना, और सोने पे सुहागा पता है क्या है? 1 करोड़ रुपए का कैश प्राइज और 1 किलो सोना मिलेगा विनर को। तो बनाओ अपनी टीम माई 11 सर्कल पे।
DJ looks right, this a hit. Swipe a car, smoking in the car, smoking dope and groupie riding past the bar. Bitches talking slurs from the pills and shit. Throw a couple Xanax, she gon' jump the dick. Throw a couple Xanax, I might drop the clip. I need my fucking bitch around the fucking trip. Walking under the trees, bitch black with the ski mask. Suicide cut, deep, but you know we like to bleed fast. When I run up in the club, motherfuckers to the blue fast. Hit the gas, then I die left, 666 on the keypad. Better hit them knees fast. Sliding in these Memphis, smoking on some buttermilk. Call up PA, $2 for the fucking gasoline. Elvis Pussy Boulevard, we swinging on them hard. Hanging out the Chevy, screaming motherfucker Lord.
Motherfucking daughters rockin' started going party sauce like Jordan Pictures barbecue. Bitch, I beat that break from covered motherfucker. Bitch, I'm fucking Southern fried. Lying to all you looking like you deferred to you from the truth. Sippin' white wine, they committed suicide. Now I'm sippin' red wine in the boot. Blowing on the block, popping up, niggas lit, go proof. On the beat, steady getting money like a toll booth. Now I'm just playing, bitch, and broke soft, broke too. Hotter than that drop top in the whole crew, no proof. White girls with one go to.
Sunshine, brightly, wait, that's just the weed I'm lighting. TA asking if the blunt is tiny. TA still it might be blood. I'm killing bugs, I'm swatting flies. All you net trying to fly to my eyes, your size is compromised from trying to fly. Sick of this, all of these zippers.
It's so swag, it's so ramen action pack, black and black, black, what I say, that's a fact, I don't lack, check my stats, it's more than rap, off the net, now I'm back, so let chat, fuck you say, where they at? My bitch stack so thick, after that give me back. My bitch cab so rich, fuck a rap, picky back. Tell my section so lit, 20 chicks, 50 rap. She blow the bag so quick, like give me this, give me that. Yeah, for the years, man. Keep it backpack raps, I'm like Kendrick and Cole.
cream or cold.
Alright, man. Let's go. Today, the agenda, I got a different agenda, man. Today, I'm gonna be looking at for what? Oh, for mammoth. You know, I'll be doing that straight up. Straight up. Times minor boots, man. Defeat that 2 times miner's boot. Alright, how much does my set cost? That's 300. Alright, let's go find a mammoth. Mammoth puppy, man.
get, you know. Seven.
And the tirades on. Just like that. I say just like that, man. Get your shit on, man. Straight up. Putting fear in these suckers, you know. You know what it do. Give me a dead fox. Or a dead. Or a mammoth. I've been looking for the mammoth, like, oh no, come on, just don't tell me it's tier 8. Okay, I've been looking for the mammoth like I'm some kind of travel shit.
Coffee.
God, man, my internet.
These links, man. Don't send me these links. I'm gonna report you.
Playing later, man. I'm out.